Now, there is a kind of spread in the Daily Mail on Suzanne Moore's account of why she left the Guardian, or why she was kind of driven out of the Guardian by supporters of transgender kind of persons. And the Mail, of course, is in a kind of backhanded way admitting the truth. But it's not blaming the Conservatives, it's not blaming the Johnson cabal. It's going to hurt Britain as if it is going to be done by a kindly, caring Conservative Party. And there is a piece about Meghan Markle publishing the fact that she had a miscarriage in July. Now, what does it mean? We've only just begun. Pandemic to scar economy, output won't hit pre-virus levels till end of 2022, and £16,000 for every household. That's the colossal annual borrowing if shared by us all. So how do we pay it back? That's the city editor, Alex Bruma, or Brahma. Bruma used to be, for several years, with the Guardian. And there is a piece on the headline, Fury over Sunak's sums drawn up before the Oxford jab, that is the vaccine. And it gives the headline, 14.8 billion extra for schools, defense, and NHS. And it's a small item on a very big issue. Jobless to reach 2.6 million by the spring. And there is a piece about the foreign aid, they call it, foreign aid budget, because the minister has resigned. Her name is Baroness Sugg. She is a member of the House of Peers. Quit her role at the Foreign Office over the aid cut yesterday. And this is a false kind of stunt, because Sugg is as much a Tory as Sunak. So it's a kind of completely diversionary kind of trick. And we'll be talking about the aid budget in a while. And this Henry Deed says that private sector income is down by 1% in the Rishi Sunak scheme, while public sector income gone up by 4%. So the Daily Mail is actually saying that Sunak is still following socialist policies. And it says build, 100 billion pounds for rail, roads, homes, and broadband in once in a lifetime boost. So there, Sunak is going to keep funding the HS2. And it is also saying that £4 billion pot to help the Labour voting areas that voted Conservative on the 12th of December 2019. And the council tax is going to rise by £106 to pay for social care. And Stephen Glover says that the Tories are plotting new carbs and kamikaze sabotage of our economy. And the toothpaste spread says Oxford experts fears for the tears. Plan to put swaths of country under strictest rules could be hard to justify as cases are falling. So there is a lot of contradictory kind of statements. And they got a big promotion for Suzanne Moore. They say it's cowardly censorship. Guardian star writers anger as she is forced out over her trans views. And they're saying that the SAGE, the scientific advisory body, are behaving like Scrooges at Christmas. And Great Ormond Street Hospital, which is the very widely publicized children's hospital in London, has a porter who has been charged with 84 child sex crimes. And how long has he been at it? He has been at it for 33 years. Now, should we explain that? That shows that there is no accountability. There is no accountability in the hospital, even in the children's hospital. For 33 years, he has been abusing children. And the Daily Mail says in the editorial, now we know the terrifying truth. The hardest part is yet to come. And its editorial ends in this paragraph. After yesterday's head-spinning performance, if there was any doubt about the monumental struggle this country faces to get its bank balance back in the black, truly the hardest part is yet to come. And then there is a piece about George Osborne, who apparently wanted to make David Beckham the sports minister. This is spin and spin and spin. And Johnny Depp has been refused the permission to appeal against the ruling against him in his defamation action that he lost to The Sun. And there is a David Frost interview with Joe Biden, which has not been seen before, apparently. And so David Frost's son shares the story of their unique encounter. Defrocked Corbyn's Red Reverend, who made sweet music with church organist. It's a kind of sexual scandal about Jeremy Corbyn. His supporter. And it goes on, and there is a huge PR for Kate Middleton. Now, the Guardian is the one that is actually putting a time frame on the disaster, economic disaster that the Boris Johnson-fronted cabal is actually responsible for. That's what they're effectively saying, 300 years. So the biggest UK slump in 300 years, that is the Guardian. And of course, the top half of the Guardian today is dedicated to a celebration of Diego Maradona. They're quoting Pelé, the Brazilian footballer, as saying, "I lost a great friend and the world has lost a legend," Pelé said yesterday. And Argentina and the football world mourning Maradona. And the quote is, "You were the greatest of all," they're saying. And they're saying in the Guardian on the page 4 that Sunak says economic crisis of COVID has only just begun. Now, Sunak is obviously only telling part of the truth. He's hiding the Brexit side, and the Guardian is allowing him to, because the economic cost and social cost of Brexit will be as phenomenal. And the Guardian is wrongly deflecting this one. They are promoting this lady Sugg as a rebel quitting over Sunak's overseas aid budget. And they're saying that she's one of the Tory revolters against this cut. So completely false and misleading kind of credit the Guardian is giving to them. And quoting Meghan as saying an almost unbearable grief. Meghan sharing her devastation at loss of her second child. And charities are backing call for openness about miscarriages. Now, what is that referring to, openness? And most of England likely to be placed in two toughest tiers. And about the virus, the Guardian is saying that the ministers have been asked to reveal the scientific advisory body's advice on relaxing carbs over Christmas. And they're saying how the rules affect people's plans. Now, all of this is still not talking about the actual behavior of the virus, which has been our diagnostic theme in diagnosing the role of the papers. They are not investigating, and they're just peddling kind of one source or another, one interest or another, but they're not actually running investigative journalism. And Johnson is at it again. He has dismissed bullying and the lack of protective gear for the health service persons and the concern about bullying and the lack of PPE provisions as trivia. And the environmental campaigner, Spring Watch program presenter Chris Peckham has said that the bugs in the celebrity Big Brother house or something, or I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, the bugs are a health danger and they should be banned from the program. And there is a piece about the Brazilian chicken that are linked to deforesting in Brazil. And a woman, a Muslim woman called Halima Aden, has quit being a model, the catwalk, over her religious belief. She says, I remember wanting to be the hot hijabi. A hot mess is what it was, truthfully. But there is a piece about the British Library saying sorry after linking Ted Hughes to slavery. That says it itself. It doesn't need any explaining. It was completely predictable that that would happen, because both the original kind of linking was a kind of shallow thing, and their claim to be concerned about the history of slavery was shallow, as they have proven. And Aditya Chakraborty on The Guardian says, this spending review puts politics before people's needs. Well, that is absolutely true. But it's not just politics. It's the corrupt politics. That is what politics is unavoidable. It's corrupt politics, big business politics. That is what Aditya Chakraborty should be saying. And there is a Steve Bell cartoon on The Guardian about the cut to foreign aid. And it says that feed ourselves. We have enough pops of our own. That's Michael Gove, Priti Patel, Rishi Sunak, and of course Boris Johnson. And the world globe is labeled Chum Aid 20. That's Steve Bell, his cartoon. But that's a Steve Bell cartoon. But the content of the investigation into poverty in the world and the role of the UK in the context of the treaty obligations, that is not published yet. And there is a tribute to the American black woman, Minnie Jean Brown Trickey, who was one of the Little Rock Nine at age 16. And she defied racist mobs in the fight to desegregate US schools. She talks to Kehinde Andrews about her remarkable life. Has Sarah Bosley read this one? Sarah Bosley of The Guardian is the racist liar who completely messed up a profile on me in 1992. She completely contradicted a profile of me. They headlined it as the angry messiah of E1, that is London East 1. And I think it was dated the 5th of March 1992. And it started in one way and ended up in another way, completely contradictory in every paragraph. The racist Sarah Bosley will continue to be hearing from me until she apologizes and tells the truth of my particular role for against racist educational or schools policies. And there is a piece about Nazi porn. And this Esther Horvath about her picture of the polar bears. And there is a piece by Rebecca Nicholson about the heartwarming celebration of ancient crafts. Now, these are pieces in The Guardian, but these pieces are in denial of the rest of the world, other than a part of Europe. It's European-centric people, and this profile about the American Little Rock 16, this black woman, is coming decades later. So The Guardian remains racist, and as the Suzanne Moore piece reprinted in the Daily Mail shows, The Guardian is toxic and corrupt and opportunistic. Contrary to what Alan Rusbridger has said in his book, or has been saying in his book, News and How to Use It, The Guardian fails to get the news for a start. And when it does get it, it mostly misuses it or abuses it. And it remains racist. In fact, it is more racist than it was under Rusbridger. That's not a good comparison at all. And the Times is running the same story about the BBC losing older viewers. And I got the story around a picture of Fiona Bruce. Now, Fiona Bruce is supposed to be the kind of glamorous attraction for the BBC. But she's not gaining viewers for the BBC for a start, because quite apart from this one, she actually made a very wrong move by coming across very racist and aggressive when she was hosting one of our early shows, or probably the first show of Question Time, with Diane Abbott as the guest. Now, I am not unaware of the fact that I have been chronicling Diane Abbott's kind of stoogery and lack of genuineness and her careeristic role so far. But when she is treated in the way that Fiona Bruce treated Diane Abbott, I think that is nothing to do with Diane Abbott's role or her policy. It's to do with the fact that she was targeted for being black. I have the right to disagree with Diane Abbott or criticize her policies or denounce them if they warrant her being denounced, as I have done when she supported Saitan Rushdie and joined the cabal of racists in the late 1980s in backing Saitan Rushdie's attacks on Muslims. But when Diane Abbott is targeted for being black, that is nothing to do with Diane Abbott's policy. And that is what I have also done. I've always defended Diane Abbott's rights and have stood up in principle for her right to express an opinion or have a career or whatever. The content of the opinion is a different matter, but a right to have the opinion or an opinion is a completely different matter. And Fiona Bruce disgraced herself, that is Fiona Bruce, by choosing to attack Diane Abbott. And her attack came across as being racistly motivated. And it was an attack on Diane Abbott that was kind of part of the narrative against Diane Abbott. I mean, no active political careerist, no white political careerist in Britain has been targeted by racists in the way that they have targeted Diane Abbott. And that is the point worth making, absolutely. Whether Diane Abbott would say the same thing about me having any right at all is a different matter. She may not. But she has the right to disagree with me, and she has the right to even oppose me, as long as it is done within due process and lawfully and without violence and hatred. I have no hatred towards Diane Abbott, except that I have opposed her policies, most of them. So Fiona Bruce has been losing the BBC lot of viewers. And this is kind of Boris Johnson following the Labour Party's kind of lead. He's saying that he backs the campaign for half of the MPs to be women. At last, it will take him another kind of 30 years, I suppose, before he agrees that the politics of